Hey everyone, welcome to the Horror PSA presented by Scary Nerd, and as always, we are your hosts. I'm Paul.
I'm Saul.
And I'm Angie.
The following is a public service announcement.
A virus spreads through an office complex, causing white-collar workers to act out their worst impulses. That's right. We watched the 2017 film Mayhem. Man, I love this movie.
This movie was good.
It's a non-stop action-packed film. I love it.
It's funny. It's got gore. It's got violence. It's got action. It's got Samara Weaving. It's got Stephen Yeun. Yeah, it's a good film.
The chemistry between the two, Stephen Yeun and Samara Weaving, is so amazing.
The whole conversation that they have about Dave Matthews was completely improvised.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
They were just like, fuck it, let's just...
I mean, it works because you can see that flow, the back and forth, the real flow.
The thing that I have noticed, though, is give credit to that improvised scene or whatever it need be. You have those people that will defend Dave Matthews.
I don't get it.
I don't get
I've
it
never
either.
been a Dave Matthews fan. I don't know.
Me neither. So I was on her side where, like I said, you have the people that will defend that band to the teeth. And I just never got them.
I don't either. And he says that line. He's like, I think it's more popular to hate them than it is to not. And I'm like, it's not that. They're just not that great. Don't get it. It's moody music for old people. That's what it is. I'm sorry.
It's like you have to see them live, and everybody always says that about a band.
Saxophone
that they like, that everybody says is shit. He's like, oh, you got to see them live. Like, no.
Okay, so you want me to see this band, which I don't like their music to begin with, see them play it live, and you think that's going to change my mind?
Yeah.
No.
To me, Dave Matthews is it's elevator music. There's nothing into it. There's no feeling. There's no emotion. It's just blah.
It's just a bunch of noises like...
That's what it is. You know what I do like, though? I like the Parks and Rec version that Andy does of Dave Matthews Band.
Yeah,
that's enjoyable. But no, Dave Matthews Band. I don't get it. Get it. But this movie is amazing. So let's talk about the virus, the ID7
Idiosa Dartellum 7.
I love it. I think it's a perfect setup for a movie. I mean, it just basically takes all your inhibitions away and blurs the line.
Why haven't we gotten a sequel as well?
Right?
I mean, not even so much a sequel or just another movie in the shared universe. Like it happens somewhere else.
Yeah.
Joe Lynch, I know you're on Twitter. I know you can make this movie. Let's do it.
Because what did they call it? The red eye virus?
Yeah. So and well, at the end of the movie, he was like, the good thing about this is they fast tracked a vaccine or whatever. So
but now that we know that people won't take a vaccine, we should just set it up to be people anti-vaxxers who are
it could literally just be set in today, and be like there are a bunch of people that were thinking, it's a hoax. The ID7's not a real thing.
Exactly. So Joe Lynch, call
us. Seriously, let's
got some ideas.
Like, let me bounce some shit off of you, man.
Just based on real life here, and I love him as the IT guy. He is the perfect IT guy.
I would imagine that would be so much fun to be in your own movie and just to be that guy. Be like, what the fuck?
Yes.
Oh, hey guys. What are you
I love what he does though. Is the IT guy who's like, I could have named this patch as a Trojan horse. Give me all your shit, and she still would have
rape your computer virus.
Yes.
And they would have still opened it.
And he's just like, okay.
And I think it's funny because I'm like, his rant about this, like, well, you got one guy in the fucking basement. Oh, build an app, right? Do this, do that, with the fucking budget. Like, deny. Like, you give me fucking money to do any of this. And he's like, oh, I'll take it up to them. That's tragic. And I'm like, that's fucking... Every IT guy's like, exactly. That's what people don't fucking get in corporate fucking bullshit culture. We don't get shit.
And hey, if he's running the whole building's IT, then he deserves to be bitching.
Yeah.
Like, if you got one IT guy for a whole building, fuck
he should have been the one that went up there and fought everyone to be like, yeah, you fuckers, I'm going to take control now.
Oh, but the setup of this movie is brilliant because it just shows you a cube farm. Yeah. And you don't want to be in this cube farm. It is a depressing cube farm of soul-sucking bastardized
I'm sure
people.
That every person that works in a building like that, or just an
before the
pandemic
setting,
or anyone that's worked in an office setting that's seen this movie, be like, oh, you know how freeing that would be.
Just just doing what they did in that movie.
Not even an office setting. Anybody who's had a shit soul-sucking job is like, we wanted that day. Yes. We needed that day.
Oh, here's what we need, right? We need this movie set in like a large retail store.
A retail store? Like a big corporation retail store?
Think of like a Bass Pro or Cabela's was like,
or Walmart even. Just
Walmart,
something with the fuck it, yeah.
Costco.
Maybe not somewhere that sells guns, but yeah.
Right.
Walmart. There you go, Walmart.
I did love that line where later
a
on,
shitty mall. How about we just pick a
shitty mall. There you
go.
go.
Where he says when they try to outsmart him, he's like, "Don't try to outsmart people below your pay grade. They're all smarter than you." And it's so true.
Yes.
If you've ever worked in any place, you know it's so true that the pay grade does not define how smart you are.
And we've all plotted how we were going to kill upper management.
No,
So, yeah.
at very least, we've all planned how we were going to tell that dude to fuck right off, and he.
I think like there'd be
nuts.
a lot more to that. Like it's just not even that. Like not even the violence part of it. And be like just to be able to like, look, I'm not gonna get in trouble with it. So fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Like none of you know what the fuck you're doing. Like
My middle
And it
finger,
clearly-
my middle finger would just be up the whole time.
and it clearly shows they don't because he was like how easily he's able to just call that other company and be like, look how they fucked you on this.
Yep.
Just put a dial on this phone that I just basically put back together.
I think that's why I love this movie so much. It's just a big fuck you to every shitty job you've ever had.
Yes.
Because all the things in the movie, like this, they're just using me. You're fucking me over.
No, never. We need to set this in an airport. Because then you have people that work in restaurants at airports that are fed up with bullshit.
Yeah.
TSA
You'll
people.
have oh fuck yeah! This goddamn. I'm gonna tweet him right now. Like you need to. Okay,
You need to
hear
do
me
another
out,
one,
brother.
Another sequel.
Yeah.
You can find an abandoned airport or some shit and film this movie.
And other people get infected because of the anti-vaxxers.
There
That's
you go.
the movie we
That's
need.
what it comes in. Some bitch on a plane flies in. And that's where it is.
I'm not wearing my mask. I have freedom.
ID7's
Okay,
a hoax.
Let's get back to the movie. Do we think that Samantha Weaving's character Melanie
It's
did
Samara.
that?
God damn it.
Samara. Oh, Samara.
Just call her Samantha. That's it.
And
Do
she's-
we think that she did this on purpose? Because
I don't think it came from her though.
No, I think it just got into the building and was in the water.
Because I think if you look, the one guy that was yelling at his secretary first, he clearly was exhibiting those signs, and then later he was the first one that they show that had a red eye. So I think he brought it, or he got it from someone else, but I don't think she brought it with her.
Because the only reason I asked that is because when they started showing the infection, they showed how when she put her cigarette out in the water, it started doing started spreading that way.
Yeah, but they show it later again.
Yeah, well,
when
he takes a drink
out
of a glass of water, and it's already in there. So I don't know. I don't think they really was any setup for it. It was just, it happened in this building, and now you're all gonna have to deal with it.
I love though that when that guy is yelling at his secretary, and he shows them that video of him getting head from her, and he's like, "I'll sell this to your wife for less than she'll get in the fucking divorce." I was like, "Yes."
For half of the half.
Yeah, I was like, "Fuck that dude," because we've all seen that dude, and we all want to kick that dude in the balls. Don't be that dude. Horror PSA: don't be that dude.
Yeah, don't be that dude.
Ugh, gross. But yeah, I love when they have their little meeting and she starts smoking and he's like, "You can't smoke in here." So she's like, "Come stop me, suit." Like, fuck her. What are you going to do?
Irene Smythe. Punch that bitch.
Right? It's just a
There were
name you
so
want to
many-
punch in the face.
It is.
too.
That was a great. So I don't know if Joe came up with it or who would have done. I'm like, that's a great name. Just be like, fucking
I don't
Irene
think
Smythe.
I don't think to me it was the names. It was just more so the people. She looked so fucking punchable. The boss looked punchable. The goddamn fucking HR person looked
It was,
punchable.
yeah.
Everybody in that movie, besides
It was great casting.
It's like besides Stephen Yen and Samara, were like, I don't want to punch anybody else.
But then, yeah.
But then, it's like those two I won't punch, but everybody else is like, I want to go in there and I want to cause the mayhem just like they did.
Yes, you want because you want them to get their comeuppance because
Yes.
you relate to them in so many levels because we've all been beat down by a job and it's
And
the
I really
worst.
think they, not only in the casting that they did great, because I think the chick that plays the siren too, like you just love to hate that bitch like automatically.
yeah.
Like, she does a great job with that character.
Oh, the tongue thing because
Yes.
she's this
Yes,
like
the siren.
she's
Yes.
so quick at her and she's so mean and like vindictive and you're just like,
And
oh,
just, like it was great writing, and I think just like I said, the casting, everything. But I think, and even especially for the HR guy, you're like, fucking Milton. Like I've always been annoyed by you in The Walking Dead. Now you're gonna get your comeuppance, you son of a bitch.
I know, and his little cane. I'm like, yep. Oh, and we've all had that douchey HR guy.
yeah.
We all
Yes,
shared
yes.
that.
We all
douchey.
shared a douchey HR guy like that. I would have loved to kick in the balls once.
With
twice.
that guy with his fucking cane. I was like, do you even fucking need that cane, you douche? But anyway.
True story, when the douchey HR guy that we all shared got fired, I clapped.
He did. It's a true story.
I remember that. Everybody looked at him. He was like, why are you clapping? He was like, everybody should be fucking happy.
Everybody was terrified for some reason.
That dickhead's gone. That's why I'm clapping.
He was the worst.
The corporate HR lady was like, people were clapping. I'm like, you're goddamn right.
Because fuck that dude.
Oh, I fucking hated that dude.
Oh, but he goes to see his friend, and that was the only thing in the thing that I was like, no.
The only death that you're like, oh man, like that does. Yeah,
and it's worse because he's like, I'm coming, Derek. He was coming to help him.
Yeah,
he was just coming to help. But when he goes to see his friend the first time, he's like, you see how bravery and stupidity can overlap?
Yes.
I was like, that's the most true statement I've ever
I would
heard.
punch a rhino.
I would punch a rhino.
Again, like the ostrich thing, I wouldn't start it with the rhino, but I would finish it, motherfucker.
There you go.
I wouldn't make it with a rhino, probably. I would get... What do? They poke you with their horns? I would probably get one of those.
Though, so they would run you over and try and horn
and see,
you.
My stupid ass would be like, okay, I'm going to grab the horn and then swoop around on its back like a cartoon, but then that wouldn't happen, and I would just get trampled.
Like that failed horribly.
People do that in rodeos all the fucking time.
But I'm not in a rodeo. It never have been.
Life or death, man. You can do
guess.
amazing things when you're like hopped up on adrenaline. Like, it's the rhino or me, and I'm choosing me, motherfucker. So...
But then the SWAT quarantine comes in and they shut down that building. I love how it's just like, nope, nobody in or out. And SWAT teams just standing there. I was like, you'd have to do that because now we know how fucking stupid people are.
Yes.
Oh, and again, I really loved, and it's a great filmmaking thing when they show the touching scene, how everybody is touching their eyes and their nose, and it's just spreading the infection. And I was like, we just spent a whole year watching people do this, scared of an infection, And I was like, this is really what it's like. They're just touching themselves all nasty, getting the virus everywhere.
Yes.
Exactly. But I love this movie because it's just nonstop throughout the whole thing, and
once it gets going, that's what happens. It's like,
but I love it from the beginning too because it's just setting up Derek's story, and the whole thing is about Derek and his emotions, pretty much, and like what this company has done to him, and how he needs to get this revenge.
How corporate culture murders your soul, basically.
It really does, and that's the whole theme of this movie. Because at the end, he's like, don't let a corporation fuck your life, man. Get out and find your own way.
See, the thing that I appreciate about the end of it is it's something I would have done where he got the partnership. Yeah. And he got what he wanted and everything. And I'd be like, you know what? It's like if I ever got that high to whatever need be, I'd do like exactly like something like he did where he signed off the lease to where she doesn't know anything anymore. Yeah. And then just fucking quit.
I know. And it's so funny to me how like, you don't, I normal people don't notice these things, but I always do because I think money's stupid. But like, how much was she behind on her mortgage, right? It couldn't have been that much because they just lost millions of dollars of a contract, right? So they could have easily just written off her thing easily, but they wouldn't because they're greedy. And that's fucking corporations. They could have just helped her out. They could have just been like, blah, blah, blah. There you go.
Do you think I like kale? You think I like the taste of kale? I'm fucking dead inside.
I'm fucking dead inside, yes.
I think that's one of my favorite lines.
And that's
like,
the thing
nobody likes kale.
That's one thing you gotta love about Derek, too, is that as the story progressed, he re-looked at the paperwork, and he was like, here's what you need to do.
Oh, yeah. He gives you the loophole. And really, folks, that works with credit cards. That works with a lot of people. Yes. If any of the shit has changed hands a bunch of times, ask them for the original paperwork. If they can't produce it, it's on them, not on you.
Yes.
At the very least, it buys you some time.
Yes. Yeah. So, horror PSA, ask for the paperwork.
Horror credit PSA.
Yes,
ask for the original paperwork.
Let me see what the original draft was.
Oh, but when he kills his friend, it was so sad. And like, it's just so bad. I loved his friend when he comes in. And the bull with his fucking, what do you call them?
Brass knuckles?
Brass knuckles, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, but
when that guy died, I'm like, fuck you, man.
That guy needed to die.
What was his weird accent?
I don't know.
I don't know if they were trying to make it like Ukrainian or like, well, this says it was filmed in Serbia, so maybe he was just a Serbian extra who was a big guy. Like,
maybe.
In Belgrade, Serbia. How do you get on locations to these things? That's what I want to know. Like, why there?
Tax credits.
I guess.
There you go.
And maybe it was credits. Like, maybe it's cheap to film there.
Oh, it's very cheap to film in places like that. You can get whole orchestras to like score movies for like pennies on the dollar compared to what it would cost here.
Makes sense.
And
and
yes,
if you're
that's why there's
yeah.
and plus when you're doing action movies, there's a lot less lax laws about shit. That's why
True.
people died making the fucking Expendables, because you can go to shit countries like that. They're like, sure, you can pay us to do that.
You can jump off of that thing, sure.
Yeah, just go ahead. Like, yeah, we can blow. Yeah, real explosion. Go ahead, blow it all up.
Real explosion. Just blow this whole fucker down. We got this. It's
like
fine.
we were planning on demolishing that anyway, so yeah.
Yeah, you go to Bratislava, you make a movie for like $2, man.
Nice.
Bratislava.
Yeah. Number one show.
Nowhere near Berlin.
I'm gonna come to your house and fucking kill you. Bye, Mom.
My mom.
I love that everyone just has attitude. Like, even the elevator guy's like, here's your fucking, or no, what does he say? He's like, here's your passcode, fuckhead.
Yeah. Fuckhead. I know.
But I'm like, I'm still doing my job, but I don't fucking like it.
Everybody. Another fun fact is there's a scene when they're running around the cube farm, and I believe it's when he goes after the HR guy at first. Yeah. There's a couple in the back boning. They are really boning. They were told to act like they were boning,
I
and
thought
then
that
they
was in the
just
beginning.
started boning.
I think it's in the
it's
in the background
cube
when he's
farm.
doing
Oh,
something.
okay.
I think
We did
it,
a live tweet with him, so that's how I know it's.
Oh,
it's
okay.
I think
for sure that one.
I think it's when he's making that video after he kills the HR guy and he lights him on fire. And
But
doing
he's
that
in
video.
they are in the
yeah,
back.
and
with
then
that
he goes
fight,
and he
too.
goes and he's walking around and like while she's filming it, and then he stops and then you see the people in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They were a couple actually. They were both actors and they were like,
They're
"Fuck
actually
it, let's
banging.
might as well go for it."
Yeah,
Like,
but you see him when you see them again, or you still see them earlier on in the scene when he fights the HR guy.
Okay, so speaking of boning, the problem I had was the issue with them, with Derek and
When they bone.
Melanie. Yeah.
Why?
nobody takes their clothes off.
Yeah, exactly. They have their freaking clothes on.
So? You've never boned with your clothes on because you just
No.
didn't have time to get them off?
No.
Not when you're a male that has a wiener and a zipper that's made of metal. Like, no,
Yes.
I'm taking the pants off.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
you
not-
take
the
them
pants
I'm not
down. You don't have
just
to take them
unzipping
off.
and trying to go through that, man. Because
It
do you want to grind up with vagina up against metal zipper?
Well, no, you would pull them down is what I'm saying.
Okay, but he didn't do that.
He
That's
didn't
what
do
the
that.
point. Like,
Well, maybe he didn't want to show his bits.
well,
She didn't want to show her bits. I can respect that.
That's when you get body doubles.
And hey, you know what?
That's
Even
true.
though that there is no nudity in that scene's fucking hot.
Yeah, but still though. Like
That's hot. They go after each other
Yeah,
hardcore.
but when I was watching, I was like, they're not actually.
I
Like,
just
I know
said
they're
maybe.
supposed to be doing it,
Y'all
but
just
like,
mad you didn't see Samara Weaving's boobs.
could. But still, though, to me, I was like, they're not bone. Like, I get they're trying to bone, but they still have their fucking clothes on. They're like hardcore dry humping.
I know. Okay. I think it's because it's out of character for what the ID7 is setting up, right?
Yeah.
Like you have no inhibitions and you wouldn't keep your clothes on.
But you also wouldn't even think about it. You would just bone and just get into the boning. And
No, because I'm always cognizant of zipper
Yes.
and wiener. So no, I would not just unzip and
Did you
bone.
not think about something about
But
Mary?
you're not cognizant if
There you go.
you're infected with something.
Okay, but then there would be a lot more drunk or high people that are lower inhibitions that have zipper-related accidents while
Yes.
having
You-
sex.
Have you ever been to an ER? Have you ever worked in an ER?
Okay,
You don't
we
know.
need-
This could be a thing.
Not only do we need a priest and a
We need somebody who
undertaker,
works in the
we need an ER friend. We need to make medical friends.
Yes,
basically,
we
is what
need medical friends.
You start
and-
going
and
to
a
random
priest.
places like, we have questions.
Another question I had for a medical friend is pepper spray to the mouth. What would
No.
that do?
I wonder.
I know,
I think that
like,
would just burn.
And you know
really
what?
Bad.
Okay, so if you get pepper sprayed, right, and you throw water on it, it burns more.
yeah.
It's
So-
just spreading. Yeah.
Yeah, so like, would it do the same in the mouth? Like, is it gonna burn? Like, because I imagine
yeah.
it would inflame everything. Because that's what pepper spray does.
Yeah.
Basically, it burns everything. So if you pour water on that in your mouth, it's gonna make it worse.
Yeah, I don't even know if
right?
you'd be able to like breathe or anything.
Oh,
'cause it would just
yeah.
be so like, oh yeah.
Ugh.
We need answers. We
Ugh.
need medical. See, we need a medical friend.
Yes.
If you're a nurse, email us.
I do. I was like, yes, though. When he takes it in the mouth, I was like, that's better than losing your fucking eyes right now, man. Like, it really is. It
I
sucks.
love how
but
when he did get that, he went to the water cooler and he tried putting his head on the spigot. He's like, that's not working. He
Fuck
just
it.
stabs the.
I'm like,
gallon.
just pull the whole fucking thing up and just pour it on your face.
Yeah.
Just, like, in your mouth, spit it out. Like, just, Yeah, because I think there would, I don't know if you'd be able to breathe. I feel like it would just, it would be too much
you
for
would
you.
cough and cough and cough and cough,
You-
like because
yeah.
you would have inhaled it, aspirated some of it into your
Oh,
lungs,
yeah.
so those would be inflamed and on
Ugh.
fire. Like, ugh.
Of all the things you see in movies where it's like they swallow and spit the blood out, or they split through this and they're like, I just watched Demon Knight yesterday, so when she spits the blood out into the Billy Zane
Jesus'
thing,
blood?
yeah, the Jesus blood. And then in The Nun, they do the same thing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, of all that, I'm like, the fucking pepper spray is the worst fucking thing. Like,
No.
I can stomach blood for a bit if I'm going to spit it out
Right,
and
because
kill a demon
we've all
or some
tasted
shit.
blood.
Like,
We've all had our own blood in our mouth. We've tasted it. We know the taste. But like, ooh, pepper spray, man, it's just seems like a lot of pain.
I can only imagine how much worse it would be too.
it just burns your taste buds.
Yeah.
What if you never tasted anything again? It's just horrible.
Would you ever?
Horrible way to go.
And thinking as Melanie, like, could you ever let him go down on you again?
Again, who said
terrified.
He did the first time?
Well, I mean, okay, would you ever let him go down on you then?
I love their spit fight. It was like,
oh, I know. When they first see each other, they just
Fuck
spit
you.
each other. That's what I love about this movie. It's just adrenaline. Like, it's just full of adrenaline from start to finish. And they're just saying fuck, and they're beating the fuck out of each other. And it's just, it's cathartic. You know? Like,
I do
really
love how when
cathartic.
you see Melanie back, in that little sequestered little office thing where they had her in the basement
room or whatever.
Yeah.
When they throw her in there and you come to, she's listening to hardcore metal.
Mm-hmm. She is. She's clearly, this is her thing.
Joe Lynch
She's
is
a metalhead.
Joe Lynch is a big metalhead. That's why
Yeah.
there's a lot of the music and stuff like that.
You can tell because Ray, the IT guy, has long, glorious metal hair.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
There's when they get to that boardroom when Irene Smythe comes in, there's a shot where they pull the laptop and they shoot it from behind. There's a sticker on the laptop that says Mayhem, but it's written out like the Metallica logo.
Oh.
I know how much a big Metallica fan you are.
Yeah, when they have that whole scene when they first like become a team or whatever, when they're spitting at each other, I love it because it's basically like right now we have enough adrenaline and no fucks to give to burn this motherfucker
And
down.
it's completely
Legal.
Yeah.
illegal, and we're immune from being prosecuted.
I found the loophole. I know.
The
I'm
spitting
reason.
scene reminded me of Tropic Thunder when he gets taken by the what's the flaming dragon.
Yeah, the flaming
When
dragon.
he gets in the guy, he spits on him. He's like, yes, do it again. He's like, what the fuck is wrong with this
Yeah.
guy? Like,
They're so funny.
Eat your Bend Jack.
Because, yeah, they have no reason to gang up or to join forces, but they do, and it's just so fun. And
It's that we have a common enemy now. Let's do this.
Get them.
yeah, let's fuck them up. We got to get all the way
We
to the
have
top floor.
Lower inhibitions, legal immunity, common enemy. Fuck it.
And
Who
they
cares?
get the shit kicked out of
Oh,
them.
my
Like,
goodness.
Derek just gets his ass beat this whole movie. And Melanie does, too. Like, she gets her hand broke. She gets her hand
scissors
Every
to
movie
the
she gets
hand.
fucked up. Like I think this
She
and then
does.
Ready or Not are two of my favorite movies where she's just like bloody and just fucked up at the end.
Well,
Like,
hey,
she's
even
great
at
it.
the end of Babysitter, she was killed by a car.
This is true.
She doesn't make it through a lot of things.
Yeah,
She's
there's
fucked up in horror movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of things that happened on there that just made you like, oh, like the thing that got me not only was the pepper spray, but the scissors through the hand.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
The scissors through the hand is always one that I'm like, oh, because then you'd have to pull it back out through your bones and your tendons and like, and I love how she goes on 2.
Yes.
Because you always go on 2. You never go on 3.
3.
You
No,
never wait.
She doesn't. She's like, all right, I'm going to count to boom, and she just pulled it
Well,
out.
that's
don't
what I
think she
mean.
counted, like-
That's what I mean. You always do it as a surprise. You never go on the last count. That's just rude. If anybody's going on the last count, that's rude. Just so you're aware.
And then the other thing too that I thought was a little weird is like when he got up to the 3rd level, when he started going Fight Club on himself, I'm like, you're already beat up. What are you doing?
She's
that
just
much
getting
more.
that adrenaline back up.
Well, see, I just thought that's the virus.
Well,
Like,
no,
you're just,
because think about it. Because they were saying, caffeine or other things, exacerbates the virus, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's adrenaline already. So if he's like smacking himself, getting himself
Mm-hmm.
pumped up, like your adrenaline starts going, and it's gonna make the virus. Because it was like 20 minutes left at that point.
Yeah.
So it was kind of wearing off, and they said that they had put like
the
neutralizers in the air to kind of combat the virus or whatever. So it's like he was just trying to get amped up for this final fight. So
Yeah, no.
The other thing that I would have found funny too is because you know how they started showing the countdown timer about when he was getting up there when it was maybe 20 minutes left.
Yeah.
I thought it would have been funny is as he's falling, the time expires and then you find out, oh shit, he screwed himself because he did it now that everything's not legal anymore.
they wouldn't have known or been.
It would have
able
had to
prove
been when
that.
you pushed him off the thing, I
Yeah.
think. It wouldn't have been when he hits the
I
ground.
was waiting for that, but then what kind of knew that they weren't going to go that route is when you saw him painting because like, okay, you see him still have his scars. And
Well, he could have been in prison painting.
Yeah.
They don't ever really say where they are.
Until the end, yeah. Oh no, there's so many little things in this movie that are so fun. Like the
nail gun.
The nail gun. I loved the CDC call when he calls.
Oh,
and he's like,
"Oh, that was
feeling great
hilarious.
today, Mark." Like,
yeah.
He was like, "No, don't do that. Don't."
That's the virus talking. Like, do you think any of that's gonna work? Normal people that have mental problems don't want to talk to fucking shrinks, right?
No,
but do you think that these people that are all hopped up on this virus of like lower inhibition and all that, and they're just like, fuck you, fuck everything, they're really gonna want to listen to a therapist over the phone?
I love when the CDC lady or the quarantine lady outside is talking to the guy on the TV and he's just snorting coke, and she's like, what are you doing?
It's my allergies.
Like, oh no, you're clearly snorting coke.
There's a lot
of
good things, and then too the little saw that they used to kill what's his face, the
Oh yeah, that little
extreme measures.
Yeah. Yes, so much blood and gore in this movie.
It is.
So fun.
It's just when they're fighting the accountants.
Yeah, there you
and
go.
Samara Weaving's just hitting everybody with a fucking hammer to the head.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
She's just beating the shit out of people, and I love it. I love it so much.
I love how he does the warning, or not the warning, the what? Ah, fuck, I can't think of the name of the call it. When he tells them, like when they were all coming up on him, is like the disclaimer, like whatever you're about to do. Just know that this is what's gonna happen. You're going to get hurt. You're going to possibly die.
Anybody who wants to leave can leave now.
I'm not going to be held responsible for killing you all.
Yes.
It's like Captain America. Anybody who would like to get off?
And that's in the background where the negotiator is like, no, don't do that. Stop. No, no, you don't. No.
Derek, let's just calm down. Yeah, nobody wants to talk to you, Mark.
If you're that shrink guy, too, I'd be like, they call you. Like, imagine you're that shrink guy. They call you, I'd be like, hey, we have another situation in the building. You know, we need you to call him. Like, it's not going to work.
Yes.
It's not going to work.
If you're going to paint me, I'll fucking do it. But I can tell you right now, it's not going to fucking work.
Yes.
And, like, having known how bad this virus is, right, and how it's just, especially in a law firm.
Yeah.
Like, they knew that shit was going to happen, right? That's why they locked everybody in that building with a SWAT team. And they were like, nobody can come out because y'all about to fucking kill yourself.
Yep.
Because I feel like, because what did he say? It was like 267 employees or some shit like that. It says, in his exposition rant in the beginning or whatever. So it's like, I think if you have that many people in a fucking building, like it's just like, all right, we're going to seal the building, and that's the easiest way to fucking deal with this. Because if we try and let them out, like we're going to be overrun. And it's just going to get everywhere.
That's how you get zombies.
The other thing I was wondering, too, is how everybody under the certain floors was the ones that went absolutely batshit crazy, but everybody on the top floor was still kind of mellow, even though they had been exposed to it too. Because I thought the head CEO would start going around and start killing the other board members.
Well, I don't think that would have happened. I thought it was kind of crazy to his level.
Yeah, I think it takes who you are maybe as an individual, and then it definitely amps up. And there's this something, because even the his friend or whatever, he seemed like a peaceful guy or whatever, but then because of the virus, he's able to save Derek and all that and do all these things. But I think for the board members, I'm like, they were all old people and they were kind of just mellow to begin with,
And really, it said like it
besides Irene fucking Smythe.
Yeah, it says it plays on your stresses and stress amps it up and stuff like that. And what kind of stress are those board members gonna have?
For the 9 or whatever, or the 8 remaining or whatever,
like all their bills are fucking paid. They're out there fucking cutting their throats.
Their
people,
biggest their biggest stress was like, we're gonna get murdered if anyone gets up here. So it's like they're fine or whatever until he gets up there. And I think at that point, like that's why they were so easily, and quick to be like, hey, just make him a partner.
Yeah.
We all want to live. Mm-hmm. We know that this won't end well, and this won't be on him if he murders us all. So
I liked the themes of how like there were people sleeping with people, like the siren or whatever.
It's corporate culture.
Yeah, had clearly been like
really
going after the head guy or whatever.
The head guy.
Don't, ladies and gents, don't suck a dick to get anywhere in life. It's not worth it. There's no dick out there that is worth sucking to get ahead.
There's no vagina.
I love how when they kill the siren and Melanie puts her shoes on, I was like, man, these are fucking comfortable shoes.
I mean, she has the money to pay for comfortable shoes. And I love how
I want to have an office where I can just walk on the fucking treadmill and like you're working out and working at the same time and and getting paid an exorbitant amount probably.
And see, that was another thing. Like all those people were running around like in their cube farms, right?
Yeah.
And all these people had their own offices. Yeah. They're not actually working because they don't actually work. People at that level don't actually fucking work.
You don't have to when you have an office because no one can see you. Do nothing all day.
Mm-hmm. So
that's the secret.
Mm-hmm. Have your own office and make it dark so no one can see it. So you just
you
look
can't
busy.
see what I'm doing in here, so you have no worries.
I thought it was funny. The HR guy just walks out and everyone's like killing each other. And he's like, fucking Wednesdays.
Mm-hmm. That would be an HR dude, though. Gives no
they called
fucks.
him the Reaper. And
You open doors like my grandma fucks.
I love how Derek...
There was some great one.
Yeah, I love how Derek did the exact same thing that the Reaper did to him earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Because he does the whole thing. It's like, oh, it's not my fucking problem.
File it under N, under not my fucking problem. Yeah. They have some, it's in the delivery of all the lines is so sweet. You're just like, yes, fuck that dude.
Yes.
Stab him in the shoe. Fuck him.
What songs would you have picked for this movie? Like, if you were going to think about the fight scene when they finally get to the siren, she's got all those other people. And I feel like their whole bounty on his head was underutilized. Because after that side, when she was like, we're paying for murder, make it $450.
Yeah. Well, they said that they just sent it to the accounting team. So I'm assuming that was just the accounting team.
Did they only send it to the accounting team?
I think so. That's what they said. Yeah.
So they knew they were going to be on that level, and they sent it to those people.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was thinking, like, if you sent it to everyone, like, I would imagine like there would be a lot more people running up to find him and all that.
Oh
shit.
yeah.
I would think that's what they would have done, just to get a little bit more.
I do feel like that was kind of underutilized. Then
it was
like it really didn't pan out except for that one fight, and I get that. But you were going to have that anyway because you were coming up to find the siren. So.
Yeah.
And if the elevator is how they're coming to get you, wouldn't you just disable the elevator?
I know.
Why not just take the fucking stairs? Because you need stairs every fucking.
Well, there's probably a gate or a code key card thing issue to get into those as well.
Gotcha.
But to get up anyway, I don't know.
To answer your question, Paul,
what song are you picking for that fight scene? Like he's talking to the shrink on the phone, and then the fight's about to start, right?
Raining blood.
And you stole it from me, you son of a bitch.
I did not steal it from you. You just asked me this first time.
Yeah, I would have picked Raining Blood. Now I'm going to pick another one, asshole. But they pick Faith No More, I think.
Yeah.
What they play on his iPod or his phone.
Derek says track 3, yes.
Yeah.
I'm thinking something Slipknot-ish, probably.
Oh, that's a good one, yeah.
Oh, fuck.
I don't know. I would have picked Raining Blood because it just
probably
fits so well.
What was the Resident Evil song that Slipknot did? That's a good one.
I don't remember the name of it.
I don't either, but that's a good one.
Yeah, something crazy.
Yeah, I would probably pick something Slipknot, probably from the first album.
It's got to be something with drums, like lots of drums. Like you got to be in there to it, you know.
Phil Collins, yeah.
Phil Collins.
Go total comedy and pick Phil Collins.
The Air Tonight, yeah.
Air Tonight. That's got drums like.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah,
there you go. Full comedy. You're picking. I'm picking Phil Collins. There you go. You stole my Raining Blood.
I only remember one band though. But do you remember when they were having the conversation about Dave Matthews saying what your 3 favorite bands are? I remember her saying late Anthrax. I forget the other.
Early Anthrax.
Early Anthrax. I forget what she says too. I don't remember.
I try to remember the 3 bands. I'm like, okay, this. And when I heard Early Anthrax, I'm like, okay, that's not bad.
She said another one that I'd never heard of.
I want to say Cannibal Corpse.
I don't think she said that.
Them.
Lamb of God would be a good one.
It could be.
Need something loud and screamy.
Yes.
I want. What's the Austrian Death Machine? That's what I want. It's a parody band.
Isn't he in jail?
No, he's out now.
Oh,
yeah.
He tried to murder his wife.
Tim Lambesis. So yeah, if you're looking for a song to murder someone by, then Tim Lambesis. And
there you go.
He went down for murder for hire, didn't
As
he?
I Lay Dying. Is that what
I think so?
Is? He tried to hire someone to kill his wife, and then his defense was that he was hopped up on roids, so it was roid rage. So he kind of got this ID7.
Yes.
I know he did some time, but he's already out. I don't think he was in there for that long.
Don't do steroids,
conspiracy to commit murder, and you can get off.
It apparently makes you angry and shrinks your package.
So he totally used the ID7 loophole in his defense. So.
Well, it didn't work because he did do time.
But he got out, though.
He's out now.
Because he didn't actually kill anybody. It was just conspiracy.
But I think...
Hey, there is a line in this movie that says, God bless the justice system.
Yeah. There you go.
You can try to kill somebody.
If you have enough money to hire creative lawyers that can find loopholes like that, if you can hire a Derek.
Because if you can hire the firm, that's what it was.
That has the Derek's.
Firm.
The Derek finds the loophole.
And it's so true, the whole, like...
But he was a lawyer, too, though. Because he was talking about he's going to get to spar for that whole fuck up with Vandecor.
Yeah, and he had found the loophole for the whole ID7 thing, is what they said. So, but yeah. Oh.
So who better to know that you're not going to be charged with anything than Derek.
Right? Like, he found the loophole. And I love how he basically puts a phone together to call the other.
He Frankensteins it.
I love that he just fucks them over. Like, oh, well, here's what they were doing, and they would have fucked you over, so let's fuck them over.
It's like, no, actually, I think you could have won that lawsuit.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, if corporations ever had that dirty laundry aired to any of their clients, the whole world would burn. The whole world would burn.
It would be chaos.
Yes, because every corporation has fucked over a larger corporation in some way, shape, or form.
They just don't know it.
Because like Derek says, the whole world is run by greed.
Yes. The other scene that I love is towards the end where they're trying to make the deal with Irene. It's like, if you do this, we'll do this, we'll do this. And then he like doesn't hesitate and knocks out Melanie.
Yeah.
And then the thing you could see coming.
Have her.
Like the thing you could see coming, I knew it was going to happen as soon as he kissed her. Is like, he's got a key. He has something.
Yeah, he's got something. I love that it was the screw or whatever, just to let her know that that's what he had did. Like she spits it out and she's just like, oh, okay. All right. That's fair. Because, I mean, I can take a backhanded, team member thing, because it's kind of what it is.
Hey, I'm a double agent, all right?
Hey, as long as you're still on my team and you let me know that, we can make something work.
At the end of the day, our objectives are met, and
yes.
Lester is dead.
If I got to take a hit to the back of the head so we can make shit happen and I still get to kill Irene Smythe, I'm all there for it. I
just love that, because it's just that slow motion, and you get the realization of that he's they're still on the same side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, how would Irene even fall for? But again, it's this thing, like, don't try to outsmart people with lower pay grades than you. They always find the loopholes, because we have to look for the loopholes. Yeah. That's the thing.
Because he even says that when they get to the board meeting, like when they're like, "You looking for this?" and he has the gun.
Yeah,
and that's where he says the line. It's like, don't try to outsmart the people. It's
so true. Any company I've ever worked for, like, the workers are far smarter than the managers, and it's asinine. Yes. It really is. It's so frustrating.
It's fun to watch, though, when you leave that company and then they get bought out by another company. Be like, we told you. You guys are being dumb.
Told y'all.
Every one of those stupid employee fucking surveys we do annually where we tell you how fucking stupid everyone above us is, you should have listened.
They never listen.
Never do.
I remember I got to one point where somebody had typed out a whole little like spiel to copy and paste, and gave somebody the thumbnail to copy and paste in those little employee surveys, and we thought something was going to happen, and not like goddamn thing changed.
Nothing ever does. That's why the end of the movie says, don't let somebody kill your spark, man. Get out. Go away.
Kill the corporate spark. That's what we need.
Yes.
Live your life. Don't live your life on societal rules. Society's stupid. We all just spent the last year seeing how stupid society was.
Oh, yes.
And how all the rules about you can't work from home. It's all bullshit.
It's all bullshit.
If this last year's taught us anything, it's all bullshit. We can work from home. Anyone can work from home.
We can afford
Everyone can fucking work from home.
We can afford to give free lunch to every child. We just don't, because we're dickheads.
Yes.
Like, what the fuck? What is that about? Bunch of dicks.
Assholes.
That's why we need this movie. That's why Mayhem exists.
I really think
we need to
this
see
movie
it.
was just, it's
cathartic, man.
It's therapeutic,
is.
and it really is like, it's just, it gives you that sense of like, if this happened, you're like, who would feel bad? First of all, like, you would feel bad for some of the people that died in here, right?
Yeah.
Like, you feel bad for Derek's friend. You know, he didn't do anything.
Oh, when that guy brings out the body and he pisses on him, I'm like, that man must die.
Yes.
Yeah, I was really hoping that his death scene was going to take place in his own office, and he was going to get thrown out of his own window out to like the outside.
You wanted him to
that would have been like, that was the way that I would have ended it
at
with,
the
like,
Yakutoma building.
He needed a Hans Gruber ending. Yeah, that's you're right. Yeah, that's what he needed, because there was I love how he died and like he just gets thrown over and you have that whole slow motion thing, but I'm like, no, throw him out the fucking building.
No, I like when he punches him, because he's like, nothing's gonna change, and blah, blah,
you're
blah,
not gonna do
like,
it, dear.
No, I'm not gonna do it, because you don't even know how many fuckers I just killed. Right? You don't even know.
Well, knowing how the movie was, even if he hadn't killed him, the one thing that I knew that they would have ended up doing is saying that, everything that happens while everybody's infected with this ID7 is not admissible.
Well, I mean, how could it be if it breaks down your response between emotional and
to me,
and it's not like you did drugs or something, you know. It's like you have no
infected.
defense against it. Like, I mean, literally, like, in their world, in the universe, and legally speaking, and all that shit, it's like if something affected me, like infected me, I should say, and then it caused me to do this, like literally you can see like, the virus literally causes this.
Yes.
It's like, how can you, like there are some countries that if you get drunk and kill someone, you can't be charged for murder because you cannot be held liable for what you're doing under the influence of alcohol. Yeah. Like it's literally that way in some other countries. So it's like ID7, like completely falls under like what I think that is, which wrong as it may be.
If there was ever to be a trial or anything, because I always think about that shit, the after effects of horror movies, but if there was ever a trial, like the phone call he had with Mark clearly shows he is not in a stable state of mind, right? So like when he's like, I feel great, Mark, like that's clearly okay. That's the virus.
And how many times did Mark give him like, that's the virus talking? It's like, well, clearly the professional that you sent to talk to us said that's the virus talking. So how could I be held for that?
Nope.
What a nightmare! Because then you could just blame that on everything. Because then think about that. Like I could just like if you weaponize the virus, right? I could infect myself, go rob a bank, do whatever. I'm like, it wasn't me. Sorry.
Like, sorry.
So, okay, let me ask you guys a question. With Melanie and Derek's whole relationship, right? They bone, they've killed people together. And then when they're laying there post-coital, right? She's like, okay, what do we do now? And he's like, now we get an apartment, maybe a dog. Exchange numbers.
Exchange numbers, yeah.
Like, are you guys there after you've killed somebody with somebody else and like teamed up and like had to fight your way out of this virus?
I don't know.
Well, I'm imagining that sex felt amazing because of the ID7 as well.
I was like, can I just have the ID7?
I know. It's like, what if they were just like, fuck it, I don't even care about killing these people anymore. I just want to fucking kill them.
I just want to bone. I mean, that was fun.
Like, get you pregnant, baby.
Get you pregnant right now. Well, what if you?
See, what happens in that? Like relationship wise, like say like I'm at work and then ID7 happens and then I fuck somebody. It's like, well, I didn't mean to do it, but then I have this weird baby and I'm married over here. Like that's a whole There should be a vaccine for this before they got to that point. After Lester Neville, the whole landmark case of them, like there needs to be a vaccine yesterday for this shit,
ID7 babies running around.
Like imagine if this gets into like government officials and like I'm just bombing countries because I don't give a fuck right now.
Yeah, fuck Iraq. They don't even need to be there. Yeah, I mean presidents have even done that, just not with ID7.
Yes, so like ID7 would ruin like the world.
It would. It really would if it got any. And that's why the CDC was like, "Fuck this building. We're gonna close it."
No, this is what we need. We need a sequel that ends up being, like I said, the airport or somewhere else, and then we need a trilogy where it's like post-apocalyptic, where the world has killed each other, and there's still ID7, but now we're fighting over just whatever little scraps are, and then it leads to zombies. There we go.
And like the ID7 vaccine.
I've made 4 movies now.
Yeah, the ID7 vaccine has done something to those who have been like inoculated against it, so they're still kind of the same, but they are still infected. There's some sort of weird hybrid.
No, the ones that are unvaccinated. The ID7 mutates and then it creates them to be zombies. So it's the unvaccinated idiots that keep the virus around, and then the virus is allowed to live and mutate.
This movie has written itself.
And now there's zombies on
Joe
ID7.
Lynch.
No, think about zombies.
The
ID7 version of zombies would make the Dawn of the Dead remake zombies look like pussies.
They would.
Ooh.
This is what we
even like the 27 or the 28 days later zombies, because they were just rage zombies or whatever. I still feel like the ID7, because they're still kind of cognitive of what they're doing, so they're more vicious because they're pointed where they're going with
think of the Return of the Living Dead zombies that were cognizant of send more cops,
yes.
But they're the ID7 version. Yes.
Where they're just batshit crazy, beating the shit out of everybody.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
Zombies fighting other zombies like that. Yeah, this would be fucking nuts.
Yes.
I'm going to call Joe Lynch tomorrow.
Better get some goddamn writing credits if this happens.
Yeah,
I mean, at very least, it'll be a fun movie. I mean, the last movie we watched was 8-Legged Freaks, and I mean, that's a movie, so this could be a movie.
Yes. Someone paid someone to make 8-Legged Freaks.
In America.
Yes. In a shitty rundown mall that we used to inhabit. Yes. Those are teens.
This movie is so fun, though. Like I said, I find this movie so cathartic when I need just a fuck the world movie day. Like, this is one of those on that list. And again, how can you go wrong with Steve Yeun and Samara Weaving? I mean, Steve Yeun just getting the shit kicked out of him and then shit kicking everybody else is just fun to watch. He's so good at it.
And I think that that speaks to like the semi-realism of things. It's like, okay, you're an ID7, so you're able to do all these things, and your adrenaline's pumping, you're going to fight. But then again, so is everyone else. So it's kind of like, you're amped up, but you're at the same level as you would have been pre-amp with all these people. But it's like you're all amped, so it's like you're still the same dude. You're amped up, and you're not going to be able to defeat everyone easily because everyone else is amped up too. So I think it comes with those pitfalls that it's like he gets the shit kicked out of him as well, because that's just real life. Other people that are amped up are going to be defending or attacking you with the same vivaciousness that the ID7 gives you.
Like he's not excluded from the violence. And that's a good part for like this virus. Like they all had to be a part of that violence because they're all infected. And I do love how it's kind of like an Odyssey. Like, I mean, especially with the siren and the Reaper and the boss. Because like even the boss at the top is like, okay, so is it like a video game boss? Is it like, you know what I mean? It's like the head honcho boss.
Well, this could be could have been a video game.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like,
but like he has to get to the top to save, his whole thing. And then he realizes that that's not even worth it.
Like the whole getting into the top, I haven't seen it, but I know Judge Dredd had elements of that one, and the one that I have seen that was freaking awesome. If you haven't seen it, you got to see it, is the raid where they go to the top level to get to the boss. So it gave me that type of a vibe from it, but it still worked out really well the way this movie was.
I haven't seen those movies. The other one that I saw that was kind of like this was the Belko Experiment.
Okay.
And that wasn't as great as this one. I love this one compared
Belko
to that one.
Belko is good, but I'm like, this one was way better than Belko.
Just the whole feel and the adrenaline and everything.
I think Belko wanted to be this movie, but this movie did it way better than what Belko could have done.
Yeah, I agree. I think this one was with the violence and the practical effects, the everything. I just love this movie. This movie is, it's just perfect to me. I have no bad things to say about this movie. I love it.
Other than there's not a sequel.
Yes, Joe Lynch.
Wait till I...
That's my one negative, Joe Lynch.
I'm going to email somebody or something.
I need a sequel. I need to see if Derek and Melanie had little Derek and Melanie babies, first of all. And then second of all, or at least need to see their dog, okay? At least need to see if they got a cute dog in an apartment. And then let's make a sequel in an airport.
There you go.
Because that would be fun. Let's do it.
Do it.
I bet airport people do need a cathartic movie like this. This is a cathartic movie to coupon people.
Everyone always has. Let's see. You've definitely got like restaurant workers. We've had movies
waiting.
We've had movies like that where like fuck everybody. We hate everything. This is the real life thing. People will spit in your food.
They absolutely will. We've worked in restaurants.
I've seen
they will.
Do it.
Do not be a dick to people who handle your food.
I think we need a good one like that with a retail store scenes that we've all worked a retail job.
Yeah.
And we worked a retail job together, so you can only imagine.
And I think it could be done in this way. Like Waiting was funny and like because it had little things, and like this one's good because it just gives you that brutality, and that's what the retail world needs is brutality. Because you get it from the fucking bosses, you get it from the customers, you get it from everywhere, and it's soul sucking and it kills your heart.
Yes.
Don't work in retail, kids. Don't work there. Walk away.
I'm so glad I got out of it.
Why can't we find anyone to work here? Because it sucks.
Because your job sucks. Nobody wants your sucky job.
Doesn't pay well. People are shit.
Oh, I'm so glad I got out of it.
God, do you remember managers who are like, we have to do stuff? It's like, I fold clothes. Shut your mouth.
I don't have to do shit. All right.
Like, I'm here to fold clothes. I'm not here to pep talk you. All right? No. Get out of my face.
Let's boost morale.
I make $10. You want to boost my morale? Boost my pay.
Yes.
Like, come on.
It's not in the budget. Yeah, it is.
I love the excuses they always give you. If you want to raise, then you got to do is sell the credit card because
it's all Chinese bullshit anyway that you're buying from overseas. So
money isn't even real.
Yes.
But anyway, fuck society. Go live your life is what Mayhem was telling us.
Watch Mayhem. If you haven't seen this movie, watch it.
Yep. Find your happy and figure out a way to make a little money on your happy.
I do have to say, smoke a bowl or something before you watch this movie because it is fun, but you don't need to be getting amped up and then going over to your neighbor's house and be like, God damn it, Dave, I'm tired of your shit. And you're like, so
it's cathartic
don't
for
drink.
Me.
Smoke a bowl.
I'm all for just like, let's get all the adrenaline out through this movie. That's how I kind of use horror movies is to feel my feelings. So if I'm really angry, I can watch a movie like this and be like, fucking kill everyone and be fine afterwards because it's cathartic, you know?
We just watched Underwater the other day and it's feeling the cathartic. I'm like, yep, you all fucked it up. So we have no one to blame but ourselves.
All are stupid.
You fucked it up.
Why you got to drill that far down? There ain't no reason. Get out of there. And humans don't need to be that far down below the ocean. Yeah. If you haven't seen Underwater, it's fun.
Okay.
It's a good
underwater drilling and 7 miles under the ocean floor.
It gives
Just
you
7
both.
miles down.
It gives you both that like claustrophobic of like drowning feeling with a monster.
Ooh.
And there's a big creature at the end. I
Yeah.
don't spoil it too much.
It's fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's fun.
But anyway, that was Mayhem by Joe Lynch. It was a fun movie. I love this movie. If at the very least, it's got Stephen Yeun and Samara Weaving, who are amazing in it. Just watch it for their comedic moments. It's so fun.
I am quickly like, I'm gonna, if it's not drama or whatever, I'm pretty sure like I'm gonna watch anything Samara Weaving's in.
She's amazing.
She's just really like just quickly come on and just taken over as like a modern day
what's her
scream
face's
queen.
niece.
Yeah,
the
Hugo.
agent from
Hugo Weaving.
Smith.
Yeah.
Hugo Weaving.
Agent Smith. Yeah. So, but yeah, she was in Ash versus the Evil Dead. She had a cameo in that. She's been in The Babysitter. She's been in Ready or Not. There's another horror movie I'm pretty sure she's in. I just can't think of all of them
sure
right
she's
now.
been in more things than we can remember. But yeah, she's great. I will see her in anything that she's getting the shit kicked out of her and beating the shit out of other people simultaneously.
She can take a punch.
She's
Looks like it.
And a kick to the stomach a couple times. Broken hand. She's broken her hand a few times in a few movies.
She's got that scream too. Like she has a very like specific like to her iconic kind of like scream. Like
Yes.
she's like
That's why I feel she is this generation's scream queen. She screams. I mean, it's not the classic 80s scream queen where she's like getting, murdered or she's scared or, they're running after the big boobed girl. She's actually getting the shit kicked out of her while fighting for her life, which is such a better trope to go with.
Yes.
Go with that one,
and sometimes
folks.
she's the one fighting the big boob girl.
Yes.
It's true. It's true. But either way, I dig it. I dig her.
I thought it was funny, her lines especially when they go to the office and the siren's office. And the siren's like, Meg. And then she's like, yeah, Meg. And she's just cracking up, like, just like the ID7 just like fucking with her. Or
I
whatever.
love her whole like drunk commentary she gives throughout the whole thing. Like when she says you open doors like my grandma fucks. Like she has some of the greatest lines in those little things.
And it's probably not her writing these or whatever, but like the way that she just delivers them. So it's like it's great writing, and then it's just her delivery of these lines.
It's so free flowing, and she's laughing. So you're like, okay, I've seen somebody say that.
It's so natural that you're like, it's just her, like it's just that the character that she is or whatever. And it's like, and that's what I think really makes a great, horror actor. Because it's like one thing, drama is one thing. Drama is hard to do. Drama is, you have specific people with talent that can do drama and be believable. But I think with her in horror, it's like, the characters that they write for her and the character that she portrays, it's like it's so naturally coming from her that you're like, that's just who she is,
Yeah.
She's probably completely different than these people and like the sweetest lady ever and just, awesome to hang out with. But it was like she just owns these characters so easily that it's
and they're always fun. Like they're never tropey, they're never gross. They're always just fun and free flowing, I feel. And I don't know if that's just the way she picks her characters that she goes after, or people just get her cast and then write her that way.
Yeah, because even in The Babysitter, when like she's technically the villain in the first one, I was like, she's still just so like lovable and great as that character, and even you still feel for her in relationship with the boy in The Babysitter, in the first one, knowing that she's the bad guy or whatever.
Yeah,
at the
and
end.
even with Steve Yeun in this one, like. I mean, this is not him as Glenn,
No.
This is him
This is way
completely
different.
a
This
180.
is,
But he's so good at it. Like seeing him just completely, not batshit crazy, but just completely like full of adrenaline and screaming and like it works. He plays it perfectly. He's got the look. He's got that anger face. Like I can't imagine shooting this film and just having to be up that much while you're like every day when you come to work, But I mean, they pull it off.
I'm sure it was a lot of laughing once the camera stopped rolling, or like when you cut the scene and you're just cracking up at the the craziness that you just did as your character on ID7 and all that. So.
And plus, like the amping up before you shoot, because like you have to, right? Like you have to get yourself to that place. And I'm assuming like because they were a couple, like they were teamed up or whatever, they had to play off each other, so just amping each other back up and forth, like I bet it was fun, but it's so stressful. I feel like need to calm down after that.
But it's well worth it when you see the finished product. So.
Yes.
It's a great movie. You should go watch it right now. It is currently streaming on Shudder, and Joe Bob actually watched this and has lots of facts and fun times with that. It's also on Shudder if you guys want to check that
I have
out.
to watch that. The
Yeah.
Joe Bob version of it.
That's pretty good. But this movie's so fun. Samara Weaving, amazing. But we are coming back next week with our first episode of May, and we are doing Possessions.
The mother of all possessions.
Mother of all possessions.
So we are
Because
starting
it is Mother's
off-
Day.
It is Mother's Day in May.
May is Mother's Day, so why not do possession movies?
The mother of all possessions. So next week we are coming back with The Exorcist, which was a request, but we didn't get to it in our request month. So now we're going to do a whole month of possession movies, which is going to be fun. I love possession movies. I don't necessarily believe in possession, but they're a good time. They're a good time.
But at the same time, possession is 9/10 of the law.
It's true.
So.
It is very true. And God bless the justice system,
Yes.
right? So, but anyway, you guys can check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can follow us on Patreon by going to patreon.com/scarynerd. You can find more horror entertainment news at scarynerd.com. And we will be back next week with The Exorcist. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, do all the things you do. We love you. We will see you next week with The Exorcist. Do you guys get anything else?
Yes, I would very much like you to tweet Joe Lynch and have him listen to our podcast.
Yes.
So just tweet at Joe Lynch.
If
Email
you do anything
Facebook
this week,
him,
do
yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm. Be like, Joe Lynch, these guys have a great idea.
Yes.
We need to continue this mayhem stuff.
We really
I want
do.
Mayhem 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
Yes.
All right. See you next week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.